Indeed, the cats love playing with that case of Pepsi. Go for it. Alright, let's do it, man. Thanks for that follow. EFQ Hydra. Alright, no chat, so you guys can talk to yourselves. I can't see you guys right now. I lowered it. Playing a PvP here on Orbital Shipyard. Playing a man named NeytpohFan, something like that. So PvP on this map, I think a couple things. You know, right off the bat, you know, sometimes you don't even think about it, but you think about maps as well. So I think about this map, you know, an in-base takeable natural. Nexus first, very common on this map. Stargate, very common on this map, because Blink is not as strong, right? I mean, there is some Blink spots, but it's not like Ruins of Ceres where it's so open, you know, your natural's open, right? There's kind of a ramp here. I mean, yes, you can Blink up in certain spots, but it's also very important to think about, you know, maybe not the best Blink map, you know, still decent, obviously, but, you know, Phoenix is common, Nexus first, very common. Sometimes you do face cheeses, and what are the best cheeses here? You know, there's Oracle is very common here. 4-gate Warp Prism is also pretty common here when you're facing all-ins. I don't face as much Immortal all-ins, but sometimes I do face some Immortal Warp Prism all-ins. So I will go Nexus first, and also in PvP, pylon placement is like, pylon placement is almost as important as the early builds you do. So like, look at this. This is how I always open every PvP. Your first pylon should really always be here. I mean, if you never are really sure where you want to put your pylons, put them in between your minerals and gas geysers. And look at this right here, though. So what ends up happening is also, I end up going, you always go double gas, obviously. So I'm going 19 double gas. I'm misclicking everywhere, though. But I see a gateway here, and I am going to go scout. I scout 17, right? So I could cheese me, but it's so unlikely. And so now when this is, you know, about 80% done, we throw down another gateway here. But the pylon placement is huge. So I have my 2 gateways here, and I always will end up putting, so we see, what do we see here? Okay, so it looks like he's staying on one, this is a 1-base build, it looks like. Nope, this was just, okay, never mind, I lied. He actually went for a Nexus here. I just know the timing that this is Nexus, I think. But see, look at this. So you put the Cybernetics core here. The Adepts can no longer shade, right? The Adepts have to go all the way around now. Okay, so he is not expanded. But he went for very late gas, so he might be chronoing out Warp Gate, right? We see the very late gas, and we also see, you know, the fact that he's expanded. You know, what do we think about this? Gonna be a chrono on Warp Gate, maybe? Very late gas, right? It's almost certainly gonna be an Adept opener. Chronoing out this. I mean, now I'm gonna definitely go and scout around. Right? Let's go try to find out a Stargate. You know, probably just proxy like 3-gate over here, I'm guessing. Because I can't imagine him, you know, funding much on this minimal gas that he had. Unless, I don't know. So I'm going to stop my pro production, right? But I'm definitely going to chrono out Double Stalker. Double Stalker is what you should pretty much always be chronoing out when you don't scout. When you scout, it looks like it's going to be cheese. Double Stalker is pretty important. I'm going to get Warp Gate. I'm getting my Mothership Core as fast as I can. But I'm just going to chrono out Double Stalker, right? I'm not doing anything but chronoing out Double Stalker. He's almost certainly going to open Double Adept. I mean, could this be DT still? I mean, it's so unlikely. So we got this out. We're getting up to 4 Stalkers. We got a Mothership Core. I also noticed when you're getting cheesed, or at least, you know, when you think they're still on 1 base, you know, no probes are at my natural right now. Why? Why are no probes at my natural? Because I'm not prepared to deal with, you know, anything at my natural right now. And you kind of got to think, okay, it looks like it might be over here, maybe. But you kind of got to think, like, what do you usually face from an all-in? You know, there's Oracle, there's DT, there's Immortal, yeah, Warp Prism. I mean, there's a lot of cheeses you face. You know, what's the most common things you face? I mean, the Robo Bay covers most of the cheeses, so that's why I do go for the Robo Bay here. Because, I mean, he could be going so many different types of cheeses here. He could have just, I mean, the fact that I see so little now, it makes me like he's just expanding. So I'll probably end up pushing out with these 2 Stalkers here. But, I mean, I'm starting to make probes again because he might have just started, you know, he might have just expanded here. I mean, I see nothing, right? We see nothing. It looks like he did just expand, I think. God, so weird, man. This is where PvP is weird, right? I invested so much into these Stalkers and all this tech. He just went, you know, fast expansion. He's getting Warp Gate now, though. Something to think about. I've got a lot of Stalkers here, though. Also something to think about. He might have some heavy Blink build prepared for me. I would doubt it. So I'm definitely going to start chronoing probes again, though, because we're definitely probably behind on probes now. Oh, my God, the timing. Impeccable. Oh, it's so nasty. That is so freaking nasty. Also really nasty. Oh man. So we're behind now, right? We're definitely behind. I'm gonna go for a fast third here though. Try to catch up economy-wise. I mean, it was such a late Oracle, right? I just wasn't ready for how late that thing was. So we're kind of in a bad spot now, right? I mean, he killed so many workers because I didn't have a pylon over here. I just brought out my stalkers outside my base. He didn't have a third yet, so I mean, he could still definitely go for a third here. But if anything, it should be at least a little bit late. I am getting blink, and I am just chronoing probes now. We don't have any sentries, don't have much scouting. I do have an observer going across the map to try to get some vision of what he's doing in. That's pretty important. I mean, I'm only on 2 gateways right now, so I guess I will get a bunch of gateways, but I don't have any tech plan. I mean, he's getting Void Rays out, which means probably he's getting Void Ray Immortal, I'm gonna guess, which is definitely a pretty scary army. I should get a sentry just so I can scout. But, I mean, I also kind of want to get a forge so I can make some cannons to maybe protect some of my bases. I do have full saturation here. I'll start evening out my probe spots. Oh man, I don't actually have... So we still see no base, so we definitely want to get more gates out. As many gates as we can. Let's chrono out this as well. He's making voids. Oh man, he's going pure void. That is interesting. He's gonna be attacking me here. I don't think he's got detection. Okay, he's getting cannons. I still think my army is gonna be pretty good here. He doesn't have any detection. I mean, a late Oracle could be definitely pretty devastating. Oh, he's going for a third here? He does have an Oracle. So I'm going to get some upgrades now. He does have that third though, looks like, so I will chrono out some probes. Alright, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Now it looks like he is just going to be going for some heavy storm type or void ray composition. That can definitely be scary though. I'm getting zealots also to the top bases, these ones. I scout all 3 bases, these 3 to go here, these 3 go here. Make sure there's no proxy bases anywhere. And then basically the end goal of all that is to make sure, you know, keep tabs on this 4th base basically is the biggest end goal of all that. Now we got Storm. I do kind of like going charge lot with it against his army composition. Yeah, I'm not 100% what he's going for. I guess I should scout again. Looked like it was pure Void Ray. He might be going Sky Toss. Now, if he is going Sky Toss, one of the best ways to deal with Sky Toss is just going for straight up, you know, taking more bases. You know, trying to out-econ him. It can be very hard to beat Sky Toss sometimes, though. I'm going to go for a Warp Prism, even though I did see 2 cannons being placed down. I think dealing DT drops could be pretty efficient here. I do want to get charge as well, because if he's on a lot of Immortals, sometimes you need Immortals to deal with charge. He is still getting Voids out, which is actually good for me, believe it or not. But we do see like no bases here, no base here, and we do see, you know, we're right here. So we kind of are seeing everything he's doing, which is quite nice. I definitely want to get as much gas as we can because, you know, especially when you're on a composition like this, you really run into a spot where you know, gas is just so critical. Very, very critical. Like, getting a lot of gas is just, you know, almost as important as, you know, taking the fights. What are my upgrades? I should be having +2 by now. I should have had charge by now as well. So basically my plan here is maybe just kind of trade with his army and then trade again. I'd love to just go right at his face and scout his army here. I'm going to have charge, and I think I will try to maybe push him twice at once here coming up. I mean, my army's pretty strong. Look how many cannons he's got. He must be going cannon. He must be going carriers. So I'm gonna try to make sure he never gets a 4th base. That's basically my new plan. Never give him a 4th base. That's my new plan. I do want to get maybe like a pylon and a gateway over here just for faster warp-ins. So I got a monster army over here. A very big army for sure. So I'm once again, you know, kind of, you know, trying to expand as much as I can. I'm also going to be doing this. Okay. So he is on carrier. I mean, that's a very hard army to deal with, honestly. Oh man, if we could maybe... I mean, once again, he's got a fair bit of carriers. I really need to stop this base here. Oh no. That looks pretty good for me, right? And we're just kind of taking him with more economy. Honestly, like, this is just so important just to clean up any army he's got here. GG. So, you know, with economy and knowing his army composition and, you know, kind of playing around that, right? We went from Blinkstalker to Storm, seeing the Void Rays. And then when you saw him going to carriers on 3 base, we said, okay, look, you're on carriers on 3 base. Your economy is not good enough yet. We can try to mass expand, abuse, you know, our mobility, your non-mobility, your heavy tech army, you know, by expanding, getting a really good economy, and trading. Doesn't even have to be that efficiently, but trading enough where my economy can give me a big army, and his economy can't give him a big army. GG. GG. So, 3 points.